Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. We're here for the weekly review show. I'm joined with Kenny. Paul is on his way, he's just having tea. And Gini is God knows where. But we have got the weekly review show. I don't know if we were here last week. I can't remember. I've had a few drinks anyway, so my memory isn't quite. Ravi says big up, like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's free man like Morgan. Absolutely. What a weekend of games. The United and City games had more drama than an episode of EastEnders and Coronation Street. Wolf says afternoon, lads. I think I have COVID Omicron. My uni COVID temperature scan is apparently high, but I feel nothing, no cold or fever or anything. Well, hopefully, Wolf, you get well soon and it's all good. But yeah, if not, you get well soon. You get a bit of time off, don't you? So that's not too bad. Brionac says Conte makes PEP feel blue. Liverpool favourites for the title.
We can read the title. That
is in fact the title. Congratulations. For fuck's sake, Penny is here. No, right. Wolf, you're not howling at the moon these days. Love it. Wolf give me 58 push-ups. So that's a bit brutal. But look, we'll get started. We'll get started on a light game, and we'll start with Newcastle. They got a 1-1 draw against West Ham at the London Stadium. That was the early kickoff, the lunchtime kickoff on Saturday. I was really energized for the game. I thought it was a really good game, mind you. Kenny, what were your thoughts on Newcastle? Have they got enough to stay up now? What West Ham, is that top four over now? Is there really much hope for them getting top four? And what does that mean for Declan Rice? There's a lot of questions around this one.
In terms of Newcastle, I'm going to speak about first of all. What I would kind of worry about with Newcastle was, I think this game really proved that it's not really this. I was worrying that it was just a bounce, but I think this game. Oh shit, my camera. But I think this game does prove that. It's
fuck's sake.
I think this game does prove that it doesn't seem to be just a bounce, because they drawn to West Ham, who were very good, and they were really good in the game. I thought arguably they deserved to win the game. They attacked very well, and I mean they nearly won it near the end. They could have had a penalty as well. So obviously Newcastle were very good, and I do think they have enough to stay up now. Surely now, I think they're much better than Norwich, Watford, and Burnley. They're just more consistent, it seems, right now. Since the January transfer window, they just seem very good. Just the mood around that club is just lifted so much. Also adding on to that, the atmosphere at the ground, that's a 12th man every game anyway. And with this boost of morale, it's even better. It's like 13 men basically on the pitch. So, and with them, they're going to stay up comfortably in the end, is what I think about them. I think with West Ham, I think this is really the time they should have really started winning games, because they got Europa League coming up, and once Europa League, the last stage of the Europa League kick in, they're not going to get. They're going to have to focus on one, and I personally think they're going to focus on the Europa League, and that is winnable for them, and it is a trophy. So I just can't see them getting top four. I think they're going to fall off to maybe 7th or
Yeah, that's fair. Paul is here. Big up Paul as well.
Hello. Sorry I'm a bit late. I think you
that's
saw me
right.
comments, Niall.
Yeah, not a
Yeah,
problem. I've been on the Despy, so I'm in a good mood.
I was gonna say steak and kidney pie was waiting for me, so I couldn't turn it down.
You can't let that go cold. That's
I
for
know.
sure.
Proper post-match meal in the house.
Oh,
Not even playing.
It's brilliant.
Nice to see you, though, guys. It's been a while, hasn't it? I mean, like we haven't done it the past. You haven't done it the past few weeks, have you? It's like
stuff's just been coming up.
International break.
Yeah, there was the international break or the whatever break the players were doing, whilst others were getting arrested and kicking cats and booting them out of the country or God knows what. So we had an awful lot to do, and we haven't done one of these in a little while. Wolf's just telling Brionac exactly what he thinks of him, which is always good. Dylan is furious for some unknown reason. Max is happy to see me apparently. I thought Newcastle might have nicked the win. They did look good. Brionac is also apparently kidnapping families. Liverpool long time. I know
it's been a while, hasn't it?
This chat is going mad. Is that Paul I see? No, it's Jurgen Klopp, mate. It's the Jurgen.
We pay to get Jurgen Klopp on the show.
LFCO Paul, is it?
Yeah, great Paul. Great singing the other night from the video I saw. Absolutely. If you haven't checked it out, check it out on Insta.
Yeah,
Rice replacing. It is. Rice replacing McBunda at United in your dreams. Brionac is apparently Velvejuan. How do you come to that conclusion? They sound similar, Mr. Max. Wonderful, Velv. No, I'm not. We are from the same area, but not the same person. Interesting. Big up to Chris. Also big up to Joshy. Also, Wolf, I am Nigerian. Wonderful. New developments in the paddock, Wolf. Wonderful. Big up Nigerians. Absolutely. Is that Scouts
Nigel Mansell?
Nigel Mansell is a famous Formula One driver. Now, I'm not sure which one you're quoting is Nigel Mansell. If it's Paul, I don't see a similarities. If it's Kenny, then I think that's insulting to Nigel Mansell.
What? What was that? Hold on. I think we need
Kenny is hiding something.
Kenny, why are you still in the dark? You've had like about 3 weeks to get a light bulb, mate.
He's not paid the lecky bill, mate.
Hey,
you're lecky bill, lad. Like, all due respect, but I just don't know how you do it. I really don't.
Paul is definitely an Everton fan. How is everyone? Well, we're all good, I believe. I saw that a video. Paul loving it, absolutely. Kenny for the love of all mankind shaved that moustache, mate. Interesting. In my dreams, Rice will come and nail Chelsea on him. Yeah. Well, if you get him Rice, you'll have Rice. You'll have Rice and one other player then, and I feel like that United squad needs about 5 players. So if you want to blow 80 to 100 million pounds on one player, if you want to blow 80 to 100 million pounds on one player, and then get one more signing when your squad needs about 5 of them, be my guest, because the banter that I give to Manchester United will only get worse the worse you get. Paul getting a better reception than United, absolutely. Oh my God, he is Scouse, he is. We need to start a GoFundMe page for Kenny to get a light bulb.
Look, I have.
Can we talk about Slippy G1 win in 9? Absolutely. Shut the fuck up, Kenny. Kenny, I love having you
19 times.
Wonderful. Right, but Paul, Newcastle, West Ham. It was sort of It was a clash of games, wasn't it? It was one of them. I thought Eddie Hours actually got this Newcastle side.
Newcastle, West Ham, that was Saturday, wasn't it?
It was Saturday lunchtime.
I think I missed that one, but
that is devastating. But luckily, I wasn't going to ask you too much about the game because Kenny sort of went into that. I was going to ask if you thought Newcastle had enough about them to stay up, and if you think West Ham's chances of top 4 have sort of slipped. That loss to United, that draw to Newcastle, I think they've had another draw or loss since then. Do you think that West Ham's top 4 chances are slowly dwindling in front of their eyes? And do you think that David Moyes will naturally now go for the Europa League a little bit more than the Premier League? Because he might view winning the Europa League as an easier prospect than trying to jump United, Wolves, Spurs, and Arsenal for top four, because 5 clubs all looking at top 4. So what's your thoughts on that? Newcastle staying up and West Ham's top 4.
Well, it's definitely concerning with David Moyes and West Ham when you've got Arsenal in 6th, who've got 3 games in hand and the same points. Wolves are on 24 games and they can easily overtake West Ham if they win the next few games. Drawn 2-2 to Leicester, who haven't been in the finest form recently, and 1-1 to I'd say relegation bound. I mean, relegation threatened Newcastle, who could still well be in it. It's the type of games that you don't want to, you can't afford to draw. You can't afford to lose in the fight that they're in. They've got United, they beat Leeds 4-2, didn't they? They've got United progressing up the table really, and they're just gonna, if they don't sort it out, it's just gonna slip further and further away from them. That's got to be the next step for David Moyes. Like, they've got to the Europa League now, but it's about cracking that 4th place. I think that's what's hard with the likes of your Leicesters, even your Arsenal, your West Ham, your Sheffield United. At one point, it's like teams like then. It's just hard to crack the City, Liverpool, Chelsea, United type thing.
Yeah.
And
Newcastle, enough about them to stay up. They got obviously brought in that Bruno guy. They've obviously got Matt Targett on loan, Chris Wood. He's brought in Joel Linton to play central midfield, which seems, a complete masterclass sort of performance from Eddie Howe, because Joel Linton looks so much more comfortable in central midfield when he's not relied on to score chances. So he was
bought as a striker, wasn't he?
He was bought as a striker. He was originally wanted by Rafa. Then Rafa left Newcastle. Steve Bruce came in and they just gave him Joel Linton, and Steve Bruce is like, firstly, who is Joel Linton? And secondly, what do you want me to do with him? So Eddie Howe sort of maybe just had a little look at it and gone, actually, if I put him in central midfield, he can do a job for me there. So is Eddie Howe sort of getting enough out of this Newcastle side to keep him up? Don't forget, they brought in Dan Burn, which I think really helps the sort of defensive side. Obviously, they got a fantastic goalkeeper, plus backup goalkeeper in Darlow. So they got Dubravka and Darlow. So they've got quality there, and
they've got next Saturday. They've got next 3 games here is Brentford, Brighton, and Southampton. They could well possibly Southampton proving the toughest task, I reckon, or Brentford, because they're both kind of in the both in the relegation dogfight. But Brighton and 9th as well. They're 3 games that can well be contested, and they are now 5 points off Watford in 18th. But then Burnley have got like a million games in hand, so that could affect it. But I think they'll stay up.
Yeah.
I think with Eddie Howe and the likes of Joel Linton, who suddenly seems like suddenly found his place in centre mid, I think they're a good enough team to go up. To stay up. I'd be surprised if they went down.
Yeah, and look, there could be other teams like Everton, Leeds, Brentford, dare I say, even dragged into this sort of relegation battle with how well Norwich, Watford, Burnley surprise win at the weekend. And talking about Burnley, I think we have to address this. I haven't done any graphics, and we're not going to talk about every game. Just going to talk about the ones in my head because they must have been the memorable ones. But we must talk about Burnley, a 3-0 win over Brighton. I mean, this is a Brighton team that has been getting a lot of praise from almost everyone. I can't think of anyone not giving Brighton praise. And Burnley decide for some miracle to decide to turn up, and Wout Weghorst gets a goal and an assist. Chris Wood's replacement doing that well. Let's just go through some comments before I get Kenny's thoughts on that, though. Kenny actually said something that didn't waffle on and was a good opinion. The end is near. Joe Kenny, who is this Tom little wannabe? Just because they're both scouts doesn't mean he's a wannabe, for sure. We used to have a lad called Tom Little, who was a Liverpool fan and a Scouser. So yeah, I think they all just class you as the same, apparently.
Did we? I didn't know you used to have a Scouser on here.
Yeah,
Oh, get him back on. We can both bully Kenny when we hear.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day. I'll see.
Just imagine 2 James Redmonds on Let's Talk Premier League.
Right?
It'd be like.
I'll see if his schedule will allow. Wolf says Morecambe fan, love it, or Moron fan, Morecambe fan. All right. I think Eddie has made the tune look a bit better, especially Dan Burn, but that tackle from him was a bit Stoke City. Well, you know, Eddie has just got to keep them up, and he'll work on what he needs to do to make them better next season and in the summer. Let's just say Morecambe. That this Tom wannabe is more successful and relevant than you. Ouch. Brutal. Big up Velv, who says, big up Niall and the panel. Break is over. Today is the last see me. You will see me again in May. Love to see it. Chris Wood, absolutely. Newcastle bide themselves out of relegation as expected. Max, you ginger shush. Brutal. Eddie, defo maximising.
Oh, no, do you know what? Sorry, Max. That's not like
his avatar's the same colour as his hair.
Oh, fuck's sake, Kenny. But here to say Luis Diaz. We'll get into Luis and Liverpool soon. Joe Linton over Bruno Fernandes. Have a food break. Valve ratio by this rabbit. Wonderful. Big up Valve. Did your sister?
It's just like birthday? Twitter comments.
Yeah, this is just exactly like Twitter. It's why I'm trying to go through them just really quickly to give everyone their airtime that they deserve. Hey, Valve, tell your sister I'll be over. So, bloody hell, Max, you can't say shit like that. I'm a for fuck's sake to you, Valve. Big up Ravi. Yeah, she had a good birthday. Took the fam for dinner. Paid £150 for a meal though. Have fun, Max. Max, you support whole shush. 150 quid. You're mad. Oh bloody hell, I'm not going through. Well, neither of them should be doing it then. Paul speaking an India accent. Do not even attempt.
No, I will not. I want to save my journalist career, to be honest.
Yeah, that's quality, Valve. What food did you smash? Fuck's sake. Bloody hell, Brianna. Like,
Max,
Jesus Christ. Bloody hell. I'm not putting any of that up. Jesus Christ. The comments have just gone south very quickly. I may be a little tipsy, but I'm not. Has
it just gone like full on National Front there quickly?
I think so. I think Max is joining the Conservative Party. But before things go really south, I'm tipsy, but not that tipsy. So you're not going to get me putting any of that crap up. Let Kenny talk to me about Burnley Brighton. Like a good result for Burnley and very unexpected 3-0 win over there. And I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, I know some Burnley fans, and basically what they've told me is that they weren't actually that good in the game, but what happened was they were clinical. Something they've been missing all season. They've not been clinical. And to be honest, that could be the same thing for Burnley for years now. They've not been clinical, and that's changed since Ruud Weghorst has joined. That's a massive part of the game. And if they can stay clinical, like they were against Brighton, throughout the games in hand, and then their most important games, then I think they definitely could survive. Because that's a massive, I don't know what to say, downside of the game. Like Burnley are just, not clinical normally. And
it's mad. They just seemed like I watched the highlights before. They look like a totally different team. Like when you think of Burnley, you normally think of shithousery 101. Do you know what I mean? If you could take the word shithousery and mold it into a team and stick them in like Lancashire, but against Brighton away as well, they seemed like a totally different side. Again, I did watch it, but I've watched the highlights.
Sean Dyche just doing Sean Dyche sort of like things.
No, but this isn't even Sean Dyche stuff. Is like Jurgen.
No, but keeping Burnley,
put on a show.
But keeping Burnley in the Premier League gives away Sean Dyche, and could this be the thing that sort of you
Against
know,
Liverpool as well.
catapults them into
Oh yeah,
maybe
this will
going
be
on
a
a bit of a run.
massive boost. Like Jesus
And
Christ,
against
I mean
Liverpool,
that's
they were really
probably
good as well.
yeah. When did he play us? How long ago was that?
I can't even remember that.
Oh yeah, it
On
was only the
Sunday.
other day.
Last Sunday. Yeah, apparently they were really, really good in that game as well.
Yeah,
Like,
no, that
very
was.
That wasn't on TV, was it? That'll be why I didn't really remember it too much.
Yeah, that was.
Also,
I was a frustrating game to be honest, but yeah, they played well. So did Norwich on Saturday. To be honest, I thought they had a really good game.
I don't think I could sit through Liverpool versus Burnley. Liverpool.
I don't think you can sit anyone against Burnley.
Liverpool and a low block is not something that tends to lead to good football. And Burnley are the ultimate low block team, with Benny and James Tarkowski just stood there going, "Bring it on, bitches! Which way are you coming?" Robbo's going to chuck it across. I'll have that one. Trent, I'll have that one. Oh, there's Diego Jota. Yeah, you sit down, buddy. We've got the headers here.
It's hard to play against a team that don't want the ball. It's very hard when they're just okay. I'm not talking about Burnley in particular. I just mean against the teams that like Atletico Madrid. When we played Atletico Madrid in the past few years, it's like watching anti-football.
It's like watching Manchester.
And it's not anti-football because
it's like watching
it's tactics and work, but it's frustrating against.
It's like watching United versus City. City want the ball. United don't want any part of that, and you know they'll just shove 25 defenders at the back, and all is good in the world.
Only 25.
Yeah, only 25. The FA have been quite nice there. Also, Mustafa has gone is absolutely correct. Now your chat's gone crazy. Well, firstly, tell me something I don't know. Secondly, the chat's always been crazy since the day we were established. And thirdly, I know. Max says I am not a Tory. Cheeky bastard. Are you calling me a cheeky? You're brave. You are brave. Okay, everyone, apart from Ravi getting signed out. Didn't know Burnley had that in their locker. Neither did I. Mustafa just saved it. Dictator Valve. Love it. Wolf, you good? Bye, Brianna. Learn your lessons. Wonderful. Right, so Max, I'm better than ever. Wonderful. Final. Where you going? Ukraine. Oh, bloody hell. We won't talk about the issue of Ukraine. I feel like that's a completely different subject.
Yeah.
A subject
I like a He's Goal politics edition. Not He's Goal. No, I'm not going to say where to know that. They're not naming it.
I've never heard of His Goal at all. Never.
Yeah, no. What's that?
What?
I've never heard of that.
Imagine He's Goal to stream the World War.
Why on a Saturday have I ever called that a TV channel? I don't know, mate.
No, I wonder if He's Goal would do a stream for the World War. For like people in other countries that couldn't see it.
Oh yeah, mate, 100%. Because we're not gonna be busy at all fighting, but we're not gonna get into that. And you know,
anyways,
for many reasons, we're not gonna talk about the issue with Russia, Ukraine, and everyone. Jesus, I knocked him out so hard he thinks we are in witchcraft battle, delusional. Velshwamp, love it. When you marry McTominay, Mustafa, never Mustafa. Oh my lord!
I'll happily marry him.
Say no to Tory. Well, I'm not about to talk about my. I'm not even about to get into my political stance at all because you know I feel like that is split. So we move on. Let's move on, and I want to talk about Manchester City versus Spurs before we allow us to talk about them allowing Liverpool into the title race.
What?
Sorry, I got confused. I thought of United as a big club. No. Let's talk about City Spurs. Kenny, I'll go to you first. Anyone who thought City were winning this is, quite frankly, an idiot, and I'll tell you why. Pep Guardiola has lost a lot of games to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to Jose Mourinho, for one reason. He cannot deal with a clinical counter-attack. Now, mind you that there is no other partnership other than Drogba and Lampard that have got more goal contributions together than Kane and Son, Why you had City winning this game, I'll never know. But Kenny, talk to me about that game. It was a crazy game. Spurs go 1-0 up within 6 minutes. City bring it back just before the end of half time. Then Spurs go and respond and make it 2-1. Then a 92nd minute penalty for Man City taken by Mahrez, a fantastic penalty as well on that. And then the last moment, Harry Kane smacks it into the back of the net for Spurs to get 3 points under Antonio Conte. What were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I mean, Spurs are often considered a bogey team for City. They've done the double with City this year. And as you said, the counter-attack, City can't deal with it. That low-block counter-attack, Pep Guardiola can't deal with it. I mean, against smaller teams, sometimes he can because they've got a less squad and they can run out stamina. Against Spurs, they've got players like Kane and Son Heung-min. They can respond. I'm not saying smaller teams are bad, but I think the title race has really been a blown wide open, and Spurs were definitely deserved the win in my eyes. From what I saw in that game, they definitely deserved the win. I know they only had 6 shots, but City have like 200 shots every single game, and barely any of them actual good shots. So Spurs definitely deserved the win. They were great. The tactics worked perfectly. Conte just seemed to be working there. And in terms of the title race, I think Liverpool are going to win it.
We'll get into the title race. We'll get into the title race in just a moment. Brionac says, now someone time me out, ask Velvishwan. Won't make Pooney a good person. Oh, Lord. This chat is absolutely bonkers. It's just
especially
bonkers.
Max. Max
it is just absolutely bonkers in this chat today. McTominay,
Kenny is a flip flop.
I'm not a flip flop.
This is a flip flop.
Katie goes my great Paul. Big up Katie
big up,
as well.
Yeah, big up Katie.
Absolutely, Max.
Only
Max
OGs know how good you are on guitar.
The weather is more predictable than predicting the Spurs going to turn up. That is true. Genie is also arrived. Genie, the chat is absolutely crazy. So I would. I'd just bear that in mind. Kenny is.
I'm not a flip flop.
This chat has gone crazy more times than United have trophies since 2013. That's actually a good one. So does Kenny need to put respect on Fred's name as a super chat? Absolutely. Right. So Genie, we're actually just before we talk about Liverpool Norwich, we were just going to talk about Spurs Man City. And I sort of just absolutely called everyone who thought City would win this an absolute idiot, because we've always seen that Pep can't deal with counter-attack sides. It's why Ollie went up against Pep, had a better head-to-head. Were you surprised that Spurs won this, or was this sort of just somewhat inevitable? Conte counter-attack, Son, Kane, both back to full fitness. Kulievski having a fantastic time on that right wing. Was this sort of to be expected, really, Spurs winning this? And Genie's, is he muted? I don't know. He's muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, mate.
Firstly, I apologize for being late.
Not a problem. But yeah, Spurs City, what were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I heard your question. I was very surprised. I think it's hard not to be surprised when City lose, no matter who it's to. Especially the run that they was on, 16 games in a row they won. It's madness, to be honest. You always feel that Conte can get a result. He's a world-class manager, and it is a world-class display. But you need the world-class players to turn up in your team as well. I think Harry Kane did exactly that. I thought his performance has to be performance of the week. He was absolutely superb. Son as well. That Kulusevski looked good. Bentancur's slow, but he keeps the ball well. Tottenham were all round good. City weren't at the races, but I think they were scared of Conte. They were scared of the counter-attack, which punished them in the end. So I'd say I was surprised because City got beat, but it's not the biggest shock. You'll see all season, that's for sure.
No, United winning would be watching
Heung-min Son as well early on in the game, just absolutely ripped that.
He looked
like he is absolutely miles offside there. That should not be happening again. that should not be happening for a team like Manchester City.
He's just so
Like
switched on, isn't
he's
he?
like
With Son?
the defenders are social distancing. Like it's not even the rule anymore.
But Son sort of has that in his locker, doesn't he? Where he can sort of be in an area, and as a defender, you're probably looking at him going, "Well, you can't really harm me from there."
Yeah, please, Son, if you're watching, come to Liverpool, mate. Honestly, you'll love it.
5 seconds
Scouts,
later, Son is 5 seconds later, Son is absolutely terrorising your goalkeeper. So yeah, big up to Fluffy as well. This is just mad. Yeah, Fluff, absolutely. War a trophy for Bum Ollie. Well, I wasn't. Look, I can still praise Ollie for how he wins games, but it was more of just a sort of point.
Still talking about Ollie.
No, I mean Mustafa just probably thinks I'm bigging up Ollie when actually I'm just using it as an example of what City are vulnerable to. And if you've got quick players that can cause damage, then you're going to cause City some problems. We've seen Liverpool do it.
Harry Kane.
We've seen Liverpool do it before. We've seen Liverpool do it with Salah and stuff like that.
Salah is like pinnacle to our attack.
United
really is.
With Dan James, when they had Dan James, it was one of them. Right, Jesus Christ, Max and Valve, both red cards. No VAR check, time them both out. I may if they carry on. I may if they carry on.
More.
Right. Now, Paul Kenny, is that Kane putting himself in the shop window with that performance? I don't think so. I think he's probably happy with Conte because I think he knows Conte can deliver something. Unlike where Jose wasn't backed, and yes, Jose would kick off a little bit, Conte will cause an absolute earthquake if Daniel Levy doesn't back him in the summer. I think he's let him off in January just because of how difficult it is to get stuff done.
It's the whole reason why he left Inter. He left Inter, Italian champ. I thought it was mad when not mad because you can see the reasons why. Obviously, Inter were in financial shambles in terms of the people that own them and all that. They couldn't afford a lot of things. So Lukaku left in the end. Now Eriksen's left. But that was Inter Milan, Conte and Inter Milan. What a side. Do you know what I mean? And it just became a one season thing.
I reckon.
And it's disappointing to be fair.
Yeah, I reckon.
But I mean, not this season.
I reckon Conte can get. Where we saw Kane and Son as in their prime under Jose. I think Conte can get that back. To be fair. Now, can we talk about Cancelo and Walker's defending? They're two apparently better defenders than Trent. Well, we all know that's complete bullshit. But yeah. So yeah. When did we have a dog in the chat? Oh my lord! Forever actually. Fluffy's been here since I don't know. Formula One, I think. Right. There was a right back stream who won. Trent did. Kenny Quiet, Ollie can beat a 12th place Spanish team. Right, okay.
What am I crying about?
I've no idea. When Jose came into Spurs, Jose was still a good manager, but past his prime, whilst Conte was still in his peak. He is still in his peak, for sure. Of course, I know Trent won, Max. He is the best. Absolutely. But we must talk about that game at Liverpool. But before we get on to how good Liverpool were, I watched this game on a completely legal stream. I was floating above Anfield in a cloud, just chilling, watching it.
Do you know what, Niall? I'm surprised I didn't see you, mate.
Yeah. So am I, because I definitely shat on the referee. But I want to talk quickly before we talk about how good Liverpool was Brandon Williams, because I want as neutrals, because I think Paul and Gini can be about this a little bit, sort of balanced on this. Brandon Williams, is he good enough from what you've seen with United's left backs to actually go in and potentially stake a claim of going in there going, I'll have that shirt, please? Because I think some of his runs were very good. I think he drives with the ball extremely well. And the good thing with him being right-footed is he can be very unexpected, because that cross he put in on the outside of his boot, he's whipping in crosses like that is disgusting on every level. I don't even think Trent will have that in his locker. Not that he's ever tried to do it sort of on the outside of his boot. But how good was Brandon Williams as a left back for Norwich? Look, of course they lost, and before anyone starts, and I know Mustafa's going to get he got spammed by Salah. There's not many wing backs that haven't been spun by Salah, so I'm not going to let you use that as a prerogative. But was Brandon all right? Because I thought he had a very good game. I thought, probably unfortunate to have had to have dealt with Mo Salah, but I also thought for large parts of the game he really did deal with Salah fairly well. Paul, I'll let you.
Do you know what? Before, he did have a good game. I thought he impressed, and I thought before he could go against. Depends who he's fighting for in terms of the left back.
Well, he's currently fighting Shaw and Tellez, so just compare him with them.
Yeah, he definitely fights for that. I'd say number 3 spot. It's not like that anymore, but he's definitely fighting. He definitely fights for that left back spot when he goes back. He's 21. He's young. He impressed. Obviously, that outside of the boot cross. Thought he had a good game against us. Yeah. Watch this space.
That's fair. What about you, Gini? What did you think of Brandon's game?
Well, first of all, he's a prick and I hate him. But secondly, for a mank, he was all right. Look, so I thought Salah was absolutely exceptional. So to contain him for 60 odd minutes, I thought he did a very good job.
Yeah.
Do I think he's better than Shaw or Tellers? Not yet. Like Paul said, he's 21. He's still got loads of development for room. Possibly.
Yeah, you've got Shaw there as well, who's about how old is he now? About
27. Yeah,
they both their left backs are about 27, 28 now.
Yeah, so I think you look at Brandon Williams. I think Norwich will probably go down. So send him to another club similar there, probably like mid-table 14th. Send him on loan. And then I think a couple more years, he will be ready to definitely challenge with the left backs getting on because he's a good player. He's got the fundamentals for a full back. He gets stuck in as well.
The issue that I've got with left backs is there aren't many of them. There's not many good left backs. And we've had this issue in England and actually worldwide for quite some time that there aren't many left backs that you could even go and buy. Other than Andrew Robertson and João Cancelo, I can't really think of too many in the league. Maybe a Cucurella. That is quite got the potential to be an outstanding left back, and I suppose that's the issue. Really, there isn't too many, so development is potentially quite key. Valve says Brandon Williams. Oh, he starts for United. I think he does add a little different, and he's right-footed, so you put him on the left wing with someone who can cross a ball. It's a very dangerous left wing because you've got your sort of wing back who's going to cut in and look for a pass to potentially Bruno, and then you've got a left winger who's just fizzling crosses all day. It could be quite the partnership. If United are serious about winning leagues and Champions League, Brandon Williams should not even be mentioned. Bang average, overrated, passion merchant, McTominay at right back, basically.
I don't get it.
Well, I disagree completely because I look at your squad and I think you need about 6 or 7 players. Now, I don't think the Glazers are going to give you £300-400 million to go and get 6 or 7 players. So you are going to need to use some of these young players. And can you honestly tell me that Brandon Williams is anywhere near worse than Tellez and Shaw? You can't really. So what
I rate Luke Shaw. I think he's a decent left back. I don't think he's the best in the world, but he has impressed for United this season, I think. It's definitely a fight next season.
What you do is you just pick which one out of Tellez and Shaw you rate more, sell the other one, have Brandon Williams play an understudy to them, trying to fight them, trying to get into the team, save 150 grand on the wages, and then go spend them wages on a central defensive midfielder or a winger. I think you do need a mix, and Liverpool are so good at that with the likes of Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott bedding in the youth, and some of them may not be good enough, but they still add something to squad depth. So that's for me. Not hard when United employ the worst left back in the league. Well, that's for sure bullshit. Does Kenny have any light bulbs? He does not. Brandon Williams ain't no Alex Tellez. You're right, he's better.
Just quickly, do you think Luke Shaw's had a good season?
No, I think he's had a terrible season.
No. What is that not what Paul you just said? I thought.
No, he said he rates Luke Shaw. I think.
Oh right.
which I think is fair. And before any United fan jumps in saying, "Oh, they're hung up on the Euros," I'm sorry, that is BS, and you damn well know it. So if we don't get 6 or 7 players, should we just use the shit ones? Then Liverpool will make 21 soon, and we'll be out here playing Williams. Not for me.
I don't get why.
No, but you gradually transition, don't you? You go through a transition phase where you buy 3 players a season. You then bed in the youth. If they're good enough, they're good enough. If they're not good enough, you sell them, and then you buy your 3 more. That's the way any club does it. So I think you just need to make the best of what you got. But I think left back is your least biggest issue, apart from saving a bit of money. Kenny, in a minute. Agreed, Mustafa. Short is just left back Martial. Short is shite. Should be sold. Do United make 4th? Maybe. But I want to talk about Liverpool because obviously title race is heating up, as you can see in the title. Paul, you're back in the title race. Not that it was ever over, according to Pep, which is probably a fair point. You've got a game in hand over City. You're 6 points behind, and you've still got to go to the Etihad towards the back end of the season.
Let me say one thing, just to start it off. Wednesday, if we don't get anything but a win on Wednesday, the whole Tottenham, Man City, the title race is back open. Liverpool fans like Leeds.
Oh yeah,
if you don't get anything but a win, all that is like, not the league is out of the window, but all this hype about the title race again, that can all just get binned.
Is that Anfield?
That wouldn't mean it. Yeah, it's at Anfield, but we
I
can't take any. Well,
I wouldn't be worried in the slightest. United beat them 4-2.
Yeah, we always. But you just have to look at these type of situations. You can never assume.
Yeah, but Bielsa only knows one way, which is attack, which leaves a lot of space in behind where Mo Salah is going to be licking his lips.
There's been defensive frailty was shown against United on Sunday.
When the teams have stood for the Premier League anthem, Salah's going to be licking his lips like Ronaldinho did. Like, it's going to be absolutely disgusting.
Like, I know. I'm just saying. I'm just being cautious.
I wouldn't be worried about Leeds.
No, I don't want to jinx anything. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to jump the gun and think, we're going to win the league. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you have to look at Norwich. Yeah, we always had it in our locker to be able to change the game, and we did. But for a large portion of that game, Norwich really took it to us. They really did. I thought they played brilliantly up until we got they got the first goal, and it was coming. I'll tell you now, it was coming. But yeah, we were just able to overpower them in the end, and then we were ruthless and left them for dead. But Grant Hanley and his defensive battalion at the back. At one point was a bit concerning.
Yeah, that's fair. But ultimately,
sorry, I'm looking at the comments at the same time. Just Velv saying, "Was he?" I remember Saka beat Leeds.
Yeah. What did you make of Luis Diaz's goal? Because there was a lot of passes before that goal. It was almost like you took a bit of City's playbook and was like, we'll just pass it around for a little bit and wait for an opening. It was patient play, which it's quite unlikely.
I wouldn't compare it to City. I just say it's how Liverpool play in terms of if you watch games like not against smaller clubs, we're patient in terms of the opportunity. But always we never really rush unless it's like dire circumstances.
Yeah.
So that would have just been a natural evolution towards a goal. But yeah, obviously it was the last one, wasn't it? Sorry, just checking. But another good game for Luis Diaz. I think he's done really, really well. He's shown that he's not at He's not someone to just sit on the bench. He's there. He's ready. He's ready to compete with the likes of Salah, Mane, Firmino, and Jota. We've got decent reinforcements for the first time in what seems like a while, a good while. We've got Mane, Salah, Firmino, Jota, Luis Diaz, Harvey Elliott. We've got the midfield. We've got the likes of Konate and Gomez in defence. Kostas Tsimikas, James Milner, or even Connor Bradley could go right back. Kelleher, reserved for Alisson, and it looks like he could be starting on Sunday.
Yeah,
it's good. It's not something, especially against the financial juggernauts that are City. It's not something we've been really treated to.
Yeah, no.
But now we're in a good position to compete with Manchester City. We have been for a while, but this is just kind of another level.
Yeah, that's fair. Herbert thinks Luke Shaw is another fraud. 200k a week stealing a living. Only Brit I got time for is Jane West can all get out. Diaz was class. Mane was a bicycle kick, and people said he was finished. Shame on you. Liverpool. Let me go to a bank and get ready for Lord. Come on, Paul. Bloody AW beat Leeds. Liverpool already bought Diaz while United posted clips of McTominay scars versus Leeds.
I think Diaz was brought on the 31st of January, not today. So
the best team goal under Klopp was against City for sure. We got an wanker hater, Sue. Shush Wolf, you ran away from the fight. I'm a Liverpool fan. Chelsea, I ain't taking United seriously. Newcastle, Villa, bigger threat than bands clubs like Arsenal, Spurs,
Newcastle and Villa.
Thiago and Origi changed the game, especially Thiago. Thiago has less assists than Fred. But Gini, before we get into another thing I wanted to ask
I don't think Origi changed the game.
Well, I wouldn't be able to say. But Gini, what were your thoughts on Liverpool's performance against Norwich? I've got something to ask you and Paul after that before we get into United versus Leeds.
Started off brightly. I thought we played it round for the first 10 minutes okay. There were warning signs from the start when Pukki gets in behind and misses them chances like he does. He's always dangerous, Timu Pukki. He's not lost it. He's always playing on the last man. And that's sometimes dangerous against our high line. But we played it okay after the first chance. And then we just went a little bit off the boil. And I think we needed Norwich to score as early as possible. Because that, as soon as they scored, we flipped. The crowd get on Liverpool's back. They get up for it. They can see we're in trouble. So Norwich's goal was actually a blessing in disguise. And then since then, I thought we were excellent. The way we were popping it about, you can see for the last goal, especially the passing, 34 passes most in the league this season or something like that. Henderson's pass as well, phenomenal. I think all of our goals were 3 quality goals. And all for different reasons. The bicycle kick, the goal kick from Alisson, the touch.
Third time lucky, by the way. You saw him try that against Inter quite a few times, and I was like, freaking hell, all right, lads. And then he does that. Trying. Do you know what I mean? And I was just, yes, go ahead, lads.
And Diaz's finish was phenomenal. But what really changed the game was the subs, but not just the subs. It was the formation. As soon as we switched to 4-4-2, I really liked it. Norwich looked puzzled. Dean Smith's a great manager, in my opinion, and what he's done with Norwich so far has been fantastic. It won't be enough to keep them up, unfortunately, I don't think. But the way he set them up was perfect. You could tell he did his research. Their intensity was there. It matched ours. But as soon as we changed to the 4-4-2, they didn't know where to go. They didn't know where to mark Salah. That brought a player out for space with Diaz and Origi.
Did we change to a 4-4-2? I thought we changed to a 4-2-4 once.
No,
I think it was a bit of both, wasn't it?
It looked a lot like once. What was the change? It was
Origi and Thiago, but for Naby and Ox.
No, maybe that was us on the ball, but I was going to say we looked like a 4-2-4.
Well, I don't know if you've seen Klopp's interview, but Klopp said to Pep he didn't know what to do, and Pep told him to switch to a 4-4-2. He said it in his Liverpool interview.
Okay. Sorry. Do you know what? I haven't actually. I didn't actually watch.
Yeah, it's a good watch. It was Pep's decision. He explained it was really fascinating.
The 4-4-2 is such
Yeah,
an
fair to you, mate.
interesting formation because it can be used in two different ways. Defensively, obviously 4-4-2. Offensively, you can play as a 4-2-4.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
A lot of people look at the 4-4-2 going, "Oh, that's just old school. Why would you play Burnley style formation?" But if you dig a little deeper, it could actually be quite a positive because then you can overload the attack and. As if you're playing a Norwich, it's not too much of an issue having only two central midfielders, just in case of a counter, especially when one of your centre backs is Virgil van Dijk. So when you deep it a bit more, the 4-4-2 is actually quite an interesting formation. But I want to talk briefly about Curtis Jones. So he was left out of the match day squad for Inter. He was the only first team member not to be included. He was not included in this squad either. Is there a little concern that Curtis might not be quite what you're needing, or is it a case of maybe getting him out on loan? I mean, Paul, I'll start with you. Are you concerned at all about Curtis? Because if I'm the only first team player not to have been in the matchday squad for Inter, when I'm looking at players like James Milner, and no offence to James Milner in the slightest, but if I'm looking for a player to come on and affect a game, I'm not looking at James Milner.
I'm looking at James Milner to affect the game defensively. Say we're winning 2-0.
Well, yeah, but you already had
Hendo
on. You're like, you had Hendo on the bench as well. So is there a worry about Curtis Jones, especially now with Harvey Elliott back from his injury?
I don't think there's a worry. I think he's just been down the pecking order. You've seen Oxlade-Chamberlain, who I think personally he's been one of my favourite players the past 2 months. I thought he's been brilliant coming off the bench. He's been progressive with the ball. He's been adding new dimensions to our attack. Thought he was quality. Keita, I think, has done well since he's come back from Gini and AFCON. I'm surprised though that Curtis Jones isn't making the bench. I think he deserves to. You see Harvey Elliott, who's just come back from injury, he's making it before him, which you can argue for. But Curtis Jones is a good player. He's a great player. I think he does bring a lot to the team when he comes on. But yeah, he's below in the pecking order. A question of whether he goes on loan, that is a good one.
It's one that Jurgen's going to have
to.
I don't think Jurgen has quite ever had this situation at Liverpool where he's had this much depth. So Jurgen's going to have to work on all of his man management, because imagine if you're the only first team member not to even make a bench for the Inter game. That will cause, I assume, for anyone who wants to be playing, that may cause a few tensions and a few issues, and you may have one heck of a pissed off player there. So Jurgen's going to have to draw off all of his man management, and we know he has it. We know he's got the ability. He's going to have to draw on all of that, because Curtis is one that I think is for the future, but you've already been integrating him in. So, and if I'm being honest, I think Minamino just basically steals it. It's going to be very controversial and people are going to hate me for it, but I think Minamino just steals a living at Liverpool. I don't think he impacts the game at all. And if anything, I think Harvey Elliott could do what Minamino does, and you could just drop Minamino off and put Curtis on the bench there. But that's just my opinion. Gini, what about you? Obviously, Curtis is a Scouser, so it may be a little different, but I don't think the angle will change. I think he'll still be pretty peeved off that he didn't even make the bench for Inter.
Yeah, it's unfortunate timing for him that now, for the first time since I can remember, we've had a full list of midfielders. But look, with Curtis, I think next season he'll definitely come into the squad. I think Milner's place, whether he renews his contract, is yet to be seen. It's rumoured that he will do, but he's gonna start dropping off the bench, James Milner, and maybe he'll be replaced. I can't predict the future. I don't know who we're going to bring in. I have a feeling Chamberlain's going to leave in the summer as well. Rumours that Naby Keita could go, although I hope he doesn't, and I don't think he will. But if you think Chamberlain goes, we bring in another midfielder, and then Milner Milner gets downgraded out. What is he next season? 37. So there's definitely a spot for him. I think there's no way you can sell him. It's way too much of a risk at his age with the potential he's got. So we'll just have to see what happens in the summer. For now, look, we're not going to stay. God willing, we do, but we're not going to stay injury free from now until the end of the season. So I'm sure he'll be back on the squad list soon. It's whenever that spot comes available. I'm sure he'll be working hard and training. He's a great kid. He's got a great mentality on him.
When we have Naby Keita playing nearly 90-minute games, I mean, it looks inevitable, but hopefully not. Yeah, as you say, God willing.
Gini, do you think this is where Jurgen's going to have to really use all of his man management? Because we know he's got it, but he's got a young player there who he's been integrated into the team. He's been, I think I look at that Porto game where he was bloody amazing. He's got that type of player who's shown the quality. He scored a goal against Brentford as well. Really, I think at that point got you out of some deep shit. I think it was away against Brentford. It really impacted, and then he took him off, and I was like, "That's the sub you want to make, Jurgen? Okie dokie." That's not the sub I would have made, but you're the one who's won the Champions League and the Premier League. I guess I'll go with it, but I think you might have got this wrong. Do you think he's going to have to really be not sitting down and babying Curtis, but do you think it's going to have to be a lot of conversation going? Look, you're doing all the right things, but I don't know. How does Jurgen deal with this? Because other managers may deal with it differently. Pep might just tell you, get on with it and deal with it. But Jurgen's going to have to be really
ruthless from a manager's point of view. I don't want him. I would hate for him to go. I hope he has as much
there's ruthless
influence on the team that he can.
Yeah, but Paul, there's ruthless, and then there's just being an absolute idiot. And I think sometimes being ruthless can come back and bite you on the butt cheeks quite hard.
No, I'm just thinking I just as you say, what does he do? I'm just thinking of as managers have done and as managers must do sometimes. But I although I say that, I don't necessarily agree. I
think being ruthless in this situation could cause you to lose out on a very good player.
So do I. So do I, Niall. That's
just ask Chelsea what being ruthless is with is being like with Salah and De Bruyne and come back to me on that. That sort of shows when you are ruthless what can happen. But Gini, how do you think Jurgen deals with this? Because Curtis is obviously naturally probably going to be slightly pissed off and maybe not wanting answers, but he's certainly going to be wanting to know what you need to do to get back into the team. Is this sort of where Jurgen does use every last bit of experience he's got, sort of similar to maybe dealing with a salary if you try and sub him off, which is, do I leave him alone? Do I go and give him a hug? Do I pat him on the head? Or do I go hide in a cupboard because Salah's going to kick my head in? Like, what do you reckon Jurgen does?
Well, there's no one in the managerial world that has better man management, in my opinion. The way the players talking, and he's like the second father. I'm sure he'll deal. And don't be ridiculous. There's a reason he's unemployed. But yeah, and Curtis is mature enough to know his place in the squad at the moment. Look, Klopp's never been in a situation in his managerial career when he's had the squad depth that he's got right now. I don't think he's ever expected it. He said it's the biggest squad and the best squad he's ever had. He's not even come remotely close to it. So it'll be a different experience in that sort of sense, but he knows how to do it. And look, like you said, you never know. Next week, God forbid, Thiago could get injured, Harvey could get another knock, and then he's straight back in possibly first team contention then. So, look, football swings in roundabouts. It's not been the easiest career for Curtis, but he's come from the academy. It never is when you're coming from the academy unless your name's Trent Alexander-Arnold or, the 1 in a million players that come up. He's got a bright future, and like I said, just hope he stays. You can't just be cutthroat and say, right, Curtis, you can't get in, you got to go now. Alone, possibly, but that's the maximum I'd give him.
Yeah. And just quickly, when Jurgen takes off Salah, we all agree that it's to hide in the cupboard because Salah's going to kick your head in. Is that what we're going for with Jurgen? Sort of, he takes off Salah and he's down the tunnel hiding in one of the multiple rooms down there, trying to avoid whatever Salah is planning on doing. We've all seen the look, haven't we? We've all seen the look that Salah gives Jurgen when he's sat on the bench behind him after he's been taken off, and it's a look I wouldn't want to be receiving from Salah because that could be quite brutal. Valve says, who knows now, this could motivate Curtis Jones. I remember 18-19, we had similar issue with Henderson. Henderson wasn't playing a run of games. It motivated Henderson more, for sure. I think Taki is a good squad player to have. Well, yeah, but he's nothing special. Well, now, Minamino has been pivotal in cup games, top goal scorer in the League Cup. To be completely honest with you, I could probably be a top goal scorer in the League Cup with some of the players that you put around Taki Minamino. If I'm being completely honest, look, I'm not bodying Taki Minamino. I think he's an all right player. But if I've got, some of the players that you've had, the likes of Harvey Elliott, the likes of Curtis Jones playing in your League Cup games, I think they'll make me look bloody good as well. So I won't be having that. Taki is doing this out of position as well. That's wonderful. Thoughts on Milner getting a new deal? Sentimental, I think. Look, this will be controversial, but I think this is just sentimental bullshit. Look, Milner probably offers quite a bit in terms of experience and leadership around the place, but really, at 37, is he really coming to impact games? I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure people would disagree, but that's that. And I'll challenge you to score against Leicester City. Have you seen their defence? That'll be a piece of cake. But moving on, I want to talk Man U Leeds. In fact, before they do that, I want to ask the two Liverpool fans, does McTominay, I think we all know the answer to that. I don't need to ask them to. They may take Rashford purely for the fact that the way Liverpool plays sort of suits Rashford in a way, but they may take Rashford. I don't think McTominay gets him. Fred definitely doesn't. AWB over Trent? Yeah, I don't think so. Shaw, no. Maguire, no. So I think they probably make
a bench.
Rashford.
No. Yeah, I was just
McTominay makes
Fred
it a
when he's on
bench.
form.
Yeah, Fred, Rashford. Genie, would you take any of them? Maybe Rashford, Fred, similarly?
Nah, none of them.
Rashford?
Not a bench.
What, you wouldn't even take Rashford as a potential squad player?
After watching him this season, I'd rather have Diaz or Jota, me.
Well, yeah, but to be fair, the entire United team has been shit this season. Try and take this season out of, and don't forget, Rashford would be working under Jurgen Klopp, who I think would get more out of Rashford than any of the other United managers have.
Look, you're not going to get if he's worn the United badge in the past. I don't want him in the Liverpool badge.
That's fair. That's fair. If Klopp wants Milner to stay, then I trust Klopp. Look, I'm not slamming Klopp. I just think Milner is possibly a little bit too sentimental, and if you're going to give him a job, probably give him a coaching job.
Man to have around.
That's wonderful. Give him a coach job then. Call him the motivator.
I think that's what's lined up, Niall. I think that's why he's giving him 1 year, so he retires here and he goes straight into
it. Just give him a job role as motivator, or I don't know, T-boy,
passion and desire,
water boy, or I don't know, passion coach or something. I don't know, but I think as a player, I think Milner is definitely coming towards the end of his career, if not already there. Rashford would get murdered playing under Klopp's style of play. Well, we don't know that. I would only take Maguire not as a bench player, but as a steward. I wouldn't even do that. But look, we must talk about United. They had a very good win over Leeds United, but it wasn't all plain sailing, Kenny, was it? You were 2-0 up after the first half, and typical United, first 15 minutes of the second half, you're like, oh, fuck, where am I? Oh, shit, they're 2-2. Nuts. This time, luckily, though, you were able to get 2 more goals and make it 4-2. But, well, yeah, this is United. Normally, you just go in and can't break down a team. So, luckily, you got 2 more goals. But, Kenny, what was your overall thoughts on the game?
Well, at Island Road, I was there, and I thought we played very well, honestly. I did think
we there, Kenny?
I did think.
Did you say you were there?
Yeah, I was there. I think with them. Yeah, I mean, Ellen Road, you can't miss it, especially since Leeds United are rivals as well.
I'm surprised you didn't get human shit thrown at you from a Leeds fans knowing the rivalry.
Human shit, not like dog or cat or whatever, just human.
Nah, probably a Leeds fan just takes a shit directly into his hand and lobs it. But Kenny, just as I was talking about United, as frozen, which is I don't think that's ever happened. But did either of you watch a Leeds game? Because it was
Yeah, diabolical.
I thought it was a throwback to the 80s. To be fair, I thought it was a fantastic game. Kenny,
Still.
oh, you're back. Kenny's back. Brilliant. Talk to me about the game. Fuck me. No, Genie, go on. Have your word.
Yeah, diabolical. To let this United team do that to you, it's absolutely embarrassing. And look, I don't want to say too much and slander Leeds too much until we play him on Wednesday. But what Bielsa does, and his stubbornness to play like that is an absolute joke. That's twice in one season they've been scored by United. If I was a manager of that team, having the double over me done by United in such a fashion, I'd retire. I'd go into making chocolate buttons or something like that, because it's just brain dead. I didn't even think United were particularly too good. I thought it was more of a factor of Leeds being bad. You saw the way they crumbled at 2-0, but they got the job done. To be fair to them, I think it was quite hard not to.
Did either of you watch this? And this is to Paul and Genie. Did either of you watch this and go, "Fuck me, I bet the 80s had good football"? Like, I was just watching it. Like some of the tackles, some of the tackles were absolutely disgraceful. I was watching. I was like, "How is the referee allowing this? Normally, you would have been sent off for some of the tackles we've seen, and arguably McTominay should have probably been sent off in that game." But did you get a bit of a throwback feeling to watching some of the highlights from the 80s with this?
You know what? I watched on Match Today because I was at a meal in town, but yeah, I really did, and I thought it was brilliant. But it was just like, as Genie said then, like the way they crumbled at the back, but then how good they were going forwards. I mean, to start that second half, it was what the Leeds fans want to see. It was passion, it was tackling, it was bravery. It's just a shame that they couldn't do that at the back. I saw it a lot of times. There was at one point where it was Maguire's header, and I think is it Llorente? Llorente, he's not looking at the ball. He's just looking at Maguire. And Maguire just like dominates him, basically. You know, that's something.
It's probably the first time that Harry Maguire's ever dominated anyone. To be fair.
Yeah. Well,
I go for it.
And to be fair, if you think about it, United don't score from corners, so that's another one. But
wasn't that their like first
goal from a corner in 140 attempts. Leeds haven't beaten us since promotion. They suit us and we smashed them. Not getting gassed anything considering Liverpool City spanked us at home for sure. Someone said ESR over Thiago. Be right back. Near sort them out. Please do. And McTominay should have had already. Yeah, McTominay should. But Kenny, your internet sort of became a bit like Cristiano Ronaldo and ghosted for a little bit. What were your thoughts on the United Leeds game? And try not to waffle.
I think
switch your light on, lads.
No, I think it was
just switch your light on.
No, I'm not.
I just see your reflection gleaming at the back.
No, look, man, look at it. Just look at it. But
it's like just
that thing there,
light on. All it takes is just go like that. You know what I mean?
No.
He does.
No, I'm probably being hypocrite.
Apparently, Kenny does have a light. He showed it. There we go, Kenny.
Oh my god!
But Kenny, talk
1
to
second.
Me,
I just don't know how you do it.
Oh, God knows. But Kenny, talk to me about the game.
I thought we were good. I thought we massively deserved the win in the end. Maybe McTominay should have got a red card, but he didn't.
Maybe.
Listen, but yeah, I thought we were very good, and I really just feel like I saw it 80s game. There were a lot of fouls that weren't being given. There were a lot of. It just had that feel, especially Leeds being back at Ellen Road for Leeds United, the first time I've ever been at Ellen Road for this game. But yeah, I thought we were really, really good, especially in that first half. Especially, I thought this was a very good performance. I wasn't shocked though, to be honest with you, because it's Leeds. We always battle Leeds. We always
Apart from last year at Ellen Road where you drew.
Yeah, 0-0. Yeah, but that was a bit of an anomaly. That was when
Niall straight face.
there was no fans and they just Leeds didn't even attack in
So
that game.
shouldn't that have been easier for you if there was no fans at Ellen Road?
No, the Leeds just defended for some weird reason in that game.
Pragmatic football against a counter-attacking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer makes sense to me.
Yeah, well, it's Leeds. I don't understand, but I did think we played well. Of course, the substitutions, well, they worked in the end. They definitely worked in the end. And yeah, I thought it was a very good performance. I was happy with it in the end.
Kenny, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you honestly think you were really good, or do you not think Leeds were also really poor?
That's a good question.
I thought
Jimmy.
Leeds defensively were really poor. I thought we were good. I thought we were quite good.
For me, it just shows how poor you've been this season. But
They got to take every.
I respect it.
They got to take every light. They've got Atletico Madrid coming up, and
Atletico Madrid
United.
are awful.
So
are you.
Yeah, but Atletico Madrid are worse than us, and they've got players with COVID cases.
No,
Now.
they're
They've got
not.
Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez out. Griezmann out.
I think we can beg to
No,
differ.
Luis Suarez is out.
Griezmann, Luis Suarez, and João Felix are all available to play.
No, they're not because I've researched it.
Oh, and Cristiano Ronaldo.
I think Suarez and Griezmann.
Cristiano Ronaldo's been out of the last 5 games.
Sure, I
know he's been.
Apparently,
I know he's been playing, but I know he's been playing and all that.
But yeah, it won't be Atletico Madrid. Come on, they're very poor side.
You're a funny fucker, you are, Kenny.
Well, we will. Atletico Madrid are one of the worst sides I've watched.
How do you
Levante,
stop letting teams having chances? Get a DM. You see how big teams make shit teams look. Shit, that can make any team look peak Barca or Milan. They can. But look, I think we'll wrap it up there. Obviously, the other games were. I can't be bothered tonight. I'm just gonna have a few more drinks to be fair. But some of the other results: Arsenal won something by something. Chelsea won 1-0. That was probably other games that we've missed, but who really cares? Wolves were very good 2-1 win.
Watford won 1-0.
Get back on the bevies tonight.
Yeah, I'm just drinking the berries and having a bit of a good night. But why not? But guys, before you do go, let them know where they can find you. Paul, let's start with you. Where can they find you, mate?
Right, so you can find me on Twitter. Hang on, I always fuck this up. Paul Wright
MUFC.
Find me on Twitter.
Paul Wright MUFC.
At Kenny eats cucumbers in the dark. Paul Wright LFC.
What's wrong with that?
Right for the Cop Ice. Also do a bit for the Anfield Wrap preview coming out tomorrow. And if you're from Liverpool, I do Paul kind of music, but yeah, because we're doing footy podcast. Follow me, journalism stuff. Got previews coming out for previews and reviews coming out for the Cop Ice and Anfield Wrap, stuff like that. So yeah, thank you.
Make sure you check them out. Gini, can you be found anywhere, or are you still anonymous?
No, yeah, I'm just chilling on Twitter. The art is Genie in a bottle. That's all I've got.
Wonderful. That's all you can find him. And Kenny, can they find you anywhere?
You can find me. You can't see.
In the dark.
You can find me at KennyV210. You can find me at KennyV210 on Twitter. Kenny.40 on YouTube. Kenny United fan on Twitch. And you can also find me hacking Paul's Twitter account right now. So.
Wonderful. Any interesting comments?
I'm on it like a carb on it, lads.
No team of the week. No team of the week. We'll just give it to Liverpool. No, me.
I'm gonna say, Niall, I've noticed a reluctance of Mason Greenwood getting in.
Oh yeah, I can only assume why. I can only imagine why. You know,
Why
one of
not?
them.
I thought he played very well against Leeds.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. That must have been, I would have said on FIFA, but he's not even on FIFA anymore. But Valve goes, so yeah, Valve, basically the entire Liverpool team gets team of the week. Congratulations. But just take out Robertson and put in Brandon Williams. Good job done. Wonderful. Let's do this. So on that note, guys, we are going to wrap it up there. Yeah, Kenny, probably a good idea not to talk or open your mouth at all. But on that note, guys, thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. I'm drinking tomorrow with my mate and watching the Argyle game. Back on Wednesday. United Atletico. Have mercy on my mental health. In a bit,
Liverpool,
guys.
Leeds. Come on, Reds. And Wembley.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Reds.
Wembley.
Oh no,
That on
because
Sunday?
I'm not on Thursdays because I've got like music stuff. But
Yeah.
but I'm going to Wembley. Can't wait. Going
Yeah,
down on the train.
Gini, are you going Wembley?
Yeah, my seat said class as well. I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
wait. I'm buzzing.
Go ahead, lad.
Yeah. Where you sat, Paul?
Meet you down there. Give us a bell on Twitter.
Where you
I
sat?
can't believe you're going
Sorry.
to Leeds
Do you know what? I don't know. I've got the tickets.
Oh shit! Hang on, we're still live.
I'll wrap it up
The
and we can
tickets will
talk
be
backstage.
Yeah, Sean.
Yeah, go on.
Let's
All right.
do that.
Go!